Hey, this video talks about how to run GPT engineering in the cloud to generate your code, and then how to actually run the code that was generated. Um, it won't run the script that is generated automatically, but it's probably good enough. So I'm going to share my screen and cut my video off. Here we go. And so let us go to Anaconda. Google, anaconda.com, and there is this little thing button, if you scroll down a bit, called Code in the Cloud. That's what I'm going to do. Code in the Cloud, and hit the button Get Started for free. And you're going to have to create a login and a registration. Um, and when you get into the registration, you'll first, you don't see all this stuff. You're going to see what I want you to do is open up, actually, let's see anything like this, and you'll see a terminal window that I want you to open up. Could open up a Python file too, or a text file, but we're going to go terminal. Probably want to hit install OpenAI. Oops, you have to save that. Install OpenAI. Okay, I already had it in. And I'm going to go back to my home directory. Gosh, I see something like this in my home directory. So the first thing I want you to do is create a folder called GPT. And no, don't do that. So what I want you to do next is go to Google for GPT-engineer. Anton Speaker, and let's go there. And you're on this page, and you can hit the code button, and then go to this green button and hit the URL. So we're going to clone his system on this device, and you're going to type git clone, and then simply paste that in, and it will create a GPT engineer folder. I actually did it here, and I created the GPT engineer folder inside another folder that was gpt-engineer. You will only have one, so we won't be confused. After that installs and you see your GPT engineer folder, go into it. And the next thing I want you to do is create a folder, new folder, just hit the button, and name it some state EV, something like that. I know we've been working on this for some time. And great, this is going to be your code project with the next GPT engineer to do for you. Go to GPT some state engineer. Go to that project, and down. There we go. I wasn't going deep enough. I have two GPT engineers. You have one. Anyway, I'd like you to create your some state EV folder in this GPT engineer folder, and you know you're in the right one because you'll see a folder, child folder called GPT_engineer. This is the right one. I'm going to click on that and focus on my creating a prompt. To create a prompt, just hit this blue button. Whoop. And I just can say text file. And I've already done that, but you're going to want to name your text file. Not with prompt.text, just prompt. So let's open up that prompt and let's just say, let's read in a CSV file, not through a GUI, but just through a normal read process from the current directory that has the state registration data. Put this into a data frame. I'd like to sum the number of rows that the column drive frame type is equal to BEV, and the number of rows of the same column is equal to PHEV for each year, as given by registration date in quotes, and each zip code also in quotes. Save the result into a file called results, let's just call it a CSV file called results. In the same folder that the input data is in. And let's save that with file, save file. Excellent. Go back one directory and we go back to our terminal window and type. Well, we have to first export in an API key. So open AI, we have to make a connection to open AI. Key equal, and I have an API here. Copy it. Got no error. All looks good. Go back folder. So I want to go to gpt-engineer, gpt here, directory. And in this, I should see the final directory where I want to run GPT-engineer. It's here. And in that directory is a there's a Python file called main.py. That's what we're going to run right now. Python-m GPT_engineer. And we're going to call that project sum state EV. And oops, I needed to I messed that up. It's GPT-engineer main sum state EV. Now it'll run. So I'm feeling pretty lazy on this one. It's going to ask me to clarify some things, but I feel like my prompt was pretty clear. Registration date, I think that GPT-engineer will figure it out. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not really worried about my CSV file, the names, the order of the columns, anything like that. I don't really have any missing data. So I'm just going to say finish. Darn you. I'll just hit C, move on. And it will make some assumptions. It says that it is assuming that the registration date is in the CS is year, month, day, which isn't right. So I'm going to say, wait, I messed up. Let's Control Z on this. Okay, and redo it, and at least clarify that one. Okay. A here, where here is 2 digits. The exact structure of the CSV file. You don't really need to know that. Everything's good in there. I already gave you some of the names, so I'm just going to say C. I'll just hit enter. Zip code file. So notice it said drivetrain type has that. Registration date is the month, year. Zip codes contains valid zip codes. All of that is true. So we should be good. And we can just run it. Let it continue running. Okay. So it's executing the code right now. And just putting in that code into workspace. Let's let it run and eventually stop it with a Control Z. So should take but a second. Probably could have skipped this step. It's installing packages, but we will need those in a second. So let's let it roll. Taking too long. I'm going to cut this out. And I'm going to go to the workspace. And there is the main workspace there, main project called main.py. I'm going to open that up. And so what you're seeing is it's loading in the file. Getting the date in the proper format to recognize it. Creating a new variable year. This line is simply summing the number of the different train types by year and zip code. A bit of a pivot table, and then eventually we're writing to the file. So the only thing I want to do here is in workspace, I'm going to paste that main EV registrations code. By the way, you could have, you will have to upload it, so you have to find it, and then whatever file, that main EV registrations, loaded in here. So that's good. Right now, the operating directory is this. domain.python is in this directory. And if this PSV file is here, it will be able to find it. So in fact, let's do that. So let's come back to here. Home. That's it. Let's just load in these two lines. We'll put it into the console to really know which one to use, and then run that cell. Oh, I'm not in that folder. So let's go back. Just struggling to get to the folder and pause. Okay, I'm back. Not a bad idea to import import OS, add that to your script, maybe put it into every script, maybe even add it to every your prompt file that you create. So when I got the current, this command, you might say, put both of these in just to get the current directory. So if I paste it into that, just get rid of that one. I'll show you how I got there. So it's file. create console file for editor. It's actually here. So I think let's just run these first three lines. By the way, I could select the whole code, but I want you to see, and then I hit button. It's telling me that I'm in this workspace. So that's good, but I actually set it to that. So the weird thing about this is if you hit this button, it will pop up what directory you're in. So you get the full file path. And what I did was just make sure that the script knows where any EV registrations is. So now with that file path set, I can paste that line. Just want you to see that it ran. And actually have it here. I can just type PDF and run that. I got everything. So now what I'm going to do is turn off that debugger. Just come down here, paste everything in, hit run. Line. Go AC, paste it in. Sorry about that. Run the cell, and it's running, and it created a results file, CSV, which has year, zip code, and number of BEVs and PEVs. If I wanted to download that, you can just right-click on it. Okay, that should set you up, I hope, for those of you that are struggling to get it working. So I'm going to stop recording.